This painting was made by Gustav Courbet in 1850. It represents realism, the technique used by oil in canvas. Its dimensions are 350 by 668 centimeters, and nowadays it's located in the Musée d'Orsay at Paris, France.
This 22-foot-long canvas situated in a main room at the Musée d'Orsay varies the viewer as if he or she were in a cave. In a decidedly non-classical composition, figures mill about in the darkness and focus on ceremony. This painting depicts the burial of Courbet's great uncle in the small French town of Ornans, and it is considered to be one of the turning points in French art. The painting depicted the scene with an unflattering air, and it did not romanticize the depictions of grief and mourning as in traditional romantic paintings. He was painting his experience in the countryside for submission into the official salon to be viewed by a city audience. At this time, there was an acceptable way Parisians wanted to see the countryside to fit in with their beliefs. They expected to view a place of order, paintings of man in harmony with nature, and representations of Catholic piety. As a prime example of realism, the painting sticks to the fact of real burial and avoids amplified spiritual connotations, emphasizing the temporal nature of life. Courbet intentionally did not let the light in the painting express the eternal. While sunset could have expressed the great transition of the soul from the temporal to the eternal, Courbet covered the evening sky with clouds, so the passage of day into night is just a simple echo of the coffin passing from light into the dark of the ground. The people who posed for him were people he knew from the town who attended the actual funeral. Two of the women are his mother and sister, his friend Mukhan, and maybe his grandfather who was already dead. He was not painting outside in plain air, he had them pose for him in his studio.
In this painting, Courbet depicts a several group of people surrounded by a grave. We can see there's pall bearers, priests, altar boys, grave digger, family and friends, and there's also a white dog. From the kind of clothing they wear, we can infer that this painting is from the 19th century. The figure of the Christ on a staff is being held by a gentleman with white gloves, but it almost looks like a separate entity up on the hilltop. The group of mourners and attendants follows the horizon or distant cliffs. No one's head extends into the sky, only the crucifix held by a religious attendant. Figures in red are beadles, officials of the church who assisted at religious functions, and upon closer inspection, they seem to have bulbous noses and red cheeks, attesting to their state of drunkenness. It would be very offensive to city viewers to see church officials not idealized but as they were. The style of this painting is realism. Realism is the term applied to compositions that aim at a faithful representation of reality, interpretations of the actualities of any aspect of life.
This was Courbet's first monumental painting he made in 1848, but didn't get to exhibit until 1851. It was received with mixed reviews, but eventually, as Courbet so aptly stated, the Burial at Ornans was in reality the burial of Romanticism.